Hi there, everybody. Um, I've never actually done this before. Um, basically, I just live in hell now. I'm in so much pain, and I don't want to live anymore. I'll just be honest, I don't. Um, I I want euthanasia because that's how bad it is. And I have a family, and I have friends that some friends who won't support my decision. They just expect me to keep going and keep living even though I'm in agony, even though I'm in hell. Um, and it's just so unfair because, like, we don't expect animals to go on in pain. We don't expect them to live in pain and misery. So why, excuse the language, but why the fuck are humans expected to? It's wrong. It really is wrong. You know, I've been on antidepressants for 8 or 9 years now, and I literally can't make sense of my life anymore. And I really don't know how I'm still alive. And I keep praying to God to take me in my sleep, and He just won't do it. But I really don't know how I'm going to survive another 5 or 10 years the way I am now. I don't, because I'm in excruciating pain with my back and my spine, like all over my body. Um, I don't feel attractive. I don't enjoy putting makeup on, getting dressed up, going to the cinema, anything that I used to enjoy. I don't enjoy that anymore. Um, my love life has been a complete joke. I've only had one boyfriend, and we were only together for a year, and then we broke up, and I never met anyone after him. And now he's no longer here. He took his life last year in February the 14th, Valentine's Day. He took his life. Um, so yeah, like, my life is just a joke. Um, I've been on the liquid form of sertraline since 2017. Um, I'm not on it now, but I was on it from 2017. I've been trying to wean off because I had found out that that was easier to wean off antidepressants. It was easier to wean off antidepressants using it. Like, it was supposed to be, well, not easier, but uh, easier to wean off more slowly. Um, but no, the worst mistake was going on that. That it's just really, like, fucked me up big time. Um, before that, I I had was on the tablet form of sertraline. Um, I had to rush down to the doctor's um around Christmas time. I think it was Christmas time. I had to rush down and get reinstated on something else, which was the Zoloft. Because what happened was, I had been on Lexapro, and I'd been on that for a good number of years. Um, but according to my prescription history, I have been on some Balta as well, and I think I also tried venlafaxine. Um, but yeah, anyway, I'd been on Lexapro for a good while, and I stupidly stopped that cold turkey because I was just fed up of how it was making me feel so numb, and just, it was numbing my emotions, it was numbing everything, so I stupidly just stopped taking it, which was a really bad idea. Um, and then the doctor tried to reinstate me on, I think, the same one, but the problem was that she tried to reinstate me on it too late. Um, if you stop taking an antidepressant cold turkey, like, you've only got 3 weeks, a 3 week window or something like that to kind of safely reinstate, and after that, it's not really recommended um to go back on it. So going back late like that was a big mistake. I ended up going nuts. Um, I was in my friend's house and I was just going berserk, like banging my head and pulling at my hair and clinging to the side of her couch and saying that I wanted to die. It was horrendous. Like, she had to help. She had to try and calm me down. Like, um, it was just horrible. Um, so then I went back to the doctors and I was told, like, just stop taking it, just stop taking the drugs altogether. So I did that, and I presume I can't even remember now. Um, I presume I was okay for a while, but around sorry, around Christmas time, I think it must have been Christmas time, I just hit rock bottom. I just hit, I just plummeted into a kind of, into another kind of a hell. It was just, yeah, it was truly horrendous. Like, I was, so I had to go down to the doctors as soon as they were open, which, yeah, as soon as they were open, and kind of get put on another one, which was Zoloft. Um, and it took me a while to stabilize, um, like, um, it took me a while for my central nervous system to kind of settle down and stabilize, like, um, so eventually I did, um, but then, like, I really didn't want to stay on antidepressants for, any longer, and I heard about the liquid form, and I thought, yeah, this is great. This is gonna work. I'm gonna get off antidepressants once and for all using this stuff. I'll wean really slowly, really gradually. Um, I was only supposed to be doing, like, no more than a 5% decrease every 2 to 4 weeks or whatever it was. Um, so I thought at the time, yeah, this is the way, and I thought, like, I had prayed to God and everything, before I got it funded. I had to, I had to, I had to get it specially funded by the HSE for me, because it's not something that you can just get prescribed by your GP. Like, it's not available. Like, it's not so easily available like like the tablet forms. Um, maybe I think in other countries it's more, like, there's easier access to it, but not here. So I had to fight tooth and nail to get it, um, and I really regret that now. I really, 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 really regret that now. If I could go back in time, I would tell me back then, do not go on this stuff. Do not fight for it. Don't touch it. Um, but I had no idea that it was going to do this to me. I had no idea whatsoever that it was going to have this kind of effect on me. Um, so yeah, I really regret praying for it to be funded now. You know, um, when I was told that it was funded, I was so happy. Like I was like, yay, God has answered my prayer, and I was so happy. But I should have never went on it. So now I'm just existing. I'm existing for other people because they don't want me to die. But like what they don't understand is like in a sense I already have died. You know, I'm in I'm in total agony, and but yeah, because I don't know. You see, I'm not. They they just don't believe I've lived enough of a life because I'm only 31. You know, um, but so yeah, I'm just existing for them. You know, because um, they just won't like support my decision. They said they respect it, but they won't support me with it. So they won't even ask me what my wishes are. Um, so like I just feel so alone. You know, there's only a couple of friends that kind of who are on my side and who really understand what I'm going through and don't you know, and they don't begrudge me. You know, but yeah, I just wish my family would be supportive of my decision because, like I said, you know, we don't we don't expect animals to go on in pain, you know, and then like technically we are animals, so like therefore we should have the right to say, you know, we should have the right to choose when we exit this life, you know, if it's become so unbearable and so horrible, you know, we should have the right to say, yeah, you know, I want to go. I've had enough. Um, like there was a girl in the Netherlands, and she was suffering for so long. Um, she tried so many treatments and therapies, and she just wasn't getting better. And like her father, she came to her father and told her she wanted to end her life. And even though he was brokenhearted at at the thought of his daughter dying, he stood by her. You know, he stood by her and he said, you know, she shouldn't have to do this alone. But my father won't do that for me. You know, and that really, really hurts me, and it really makes me so angry. And also like, you know, it doesn't make sense to me because he says he loves me, yeah, he won't support my decision to end my pain. And then there was a guy from America, and he had somatic disorder. So he was in excruciating pain all over his body. Like he felt like his body was on fire. He felt like there was acid in between his eyes and his forehead, all over his body. He couldn't read for long without being in awful pain. And he sat in front of his father and said to his father, you know, Dad, honestly, if you were in my shoes, you know, you've seen the way I've been living for the past whatever so long. You know, could you honestly say that if you were in my shoes, you'd you'd still want to keep going? And his father said no, he wouldn't. Um, So he eventually he ended up, unfortunately, he ended up having to take his own life because he was living in America, in Canada, I think it was, and in Canada there is euth- euthanasia is available, but it doesn't apply, or at that time it didn't apply to people with mental illness. So he was fighting for it, but he wasn't he couldn't meet the strict criteria for it. Um, so he eventually ended up having to just take matters into his own hands, and he had to end his own life uh, somewhere in a motel with no friends around him, no family around him. Um, so it's just so wrong, It really is so wrong. Um, and then there was like another girl in the Netherlands who also suffered from mental illness, and she eventually fought and fought, and she was euthanized. Um, so yeah, so as I'm just existing. I don't live anymore. Um, and I've tried so hard to explain to my family and make my family see how much pain I'm in, but they just don't get it, and I'm just not getting anywhere with them. So, but I really don't see how I can survive another 5 or 10 years like this. It's just not dignified living. It's not, and it's not fair on me. Um, like even though I'm only 31, like I have had a lot of good things in my life. Like I have had, you know, I have enjoyed life. I used to do Irish dancing. Um, I have, a lot of medals from that and some trophies. Um, but I can no longer. I'd be afraid to um start doing that again now. I'd be afraid because I'm in so much pain physically. It's unreal. Um, so I mean I don't go to classes anymore, but I used to, and I used to love it. Um, and what else have I done? I've done a bit of camogie, and I did a bit of karate. And when I was in school, I was in a school choir, and I sung in various places. Like I sung in Berlin, Paris, Prague, Barcelona. Um, yeah, we traveled to many places. Like so. Um, and what else? I've done some horse riding, and I've done some voluntary work with horses, and um, I've been to college. I've done uh, information and administration course. Then I did computer technician. Um, and yeah, I've never worked like as in a paid job, but I mean, like I honestly don't see how I could work now. Like I don't see how I'd cope. You know. Uh. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I used to be such a happy child, um, full of life, and you know, like, but like I've no memories of my childhood. I don't remember anything from my childhood. Um, like from being in school and I don't remember anything, absolutely nothing. Um, so yeah, that's so I just I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do. Um, Literally just existing each day, day in, day out. I'm just existing. Um, but I really don't see how I can survive long term. I just don't, you know. Um, if anybody watches this and can understand where I'm coming from, I appreciate that, Um, I don't, I don't want anyone to be like kind of negative with me or telling me that I'm wrong for wanting to end my life, because honestly, like if you were in my shoes, you wouldn't blame me, you know. Um, so yeah, please don't like, have a go at me. If you're gonna like be supportive and understanding and agree with me, then that's fine, But if you're gonna start having a go at me, or then I'd rather you don't comment, But like I suppose I can just delete them if if there's any kind of negative comments. But there are some videos on my channel of me in happier times. Like there's one of me doing some Irish dancing. There's one of me um in school singing with the choir, and then like there's bits of me at home and stuff like that. So like you'll definitely see a totally different person to what you're seeing now. Um, so please do watch them. Um, and like let me know what you think. But as I said, don't kind of have a go at me and or tell me that I'm wrong, because you know I didn't ask for this to happen to me. I didn't. I when I went down to the doctor all those years ago, and all that, I trusted her. I trusted the doctor to, when they said, "Oh, these drugs are fine, these drugs are safe, and these drugs won't like harm you," I shouldn't have listened. I shouldn't have. Um, but there you go. I didn't. I trusted them, so uh, so that's all I have to say right now. Anyway, I might do another video. I don't know. I'll see. But I hope there's people out there and that'll watch this and will understand, and not, not have a go at me or anything like that. So, by the way, my name is Catherine, uh, and yeah, Catherine Foran, and 31, and I'm in Dublin, Ireland. So, thank you. Bye bye.